Hi, I'm Chris Castile in the Washington Bureau of the Oklahoman. Today, more than 400 leaders of Indian tribes from around the country gathered in Washington for a conference with President Barack Obama and members of his cabinet. It was the first such conference since Bill Clinton's administration, and it was the largest in history. During his campaign last year, Obama promised to hold such a gathering if elected, and he kept that commitment in the first year of his presidency.
It's a tremendous start for the Obama administration because it reaffirms the historic government-to-government relationship between all the tribes and the federal government. And the fact that the administration will begin this way, I think, is to their credit, and will help us have a very fruitful relationship between the tribal nations and the federal government.
We'll cover a lot of topics today, so it's really, really important that this information be presented to them. And this means a lot to Indian country. It's a very important thing when the President brings us all in to hear from us.
Jefferson Keel, the Lieutenant Governor of the Chickasaw Nation of Oklahoma, got to introduce Obama to the conference since he was recently elected President of the National Congress of American Indians.
I'm just honored to be here and be a part of this. This is such a historic occasion for not only me, but for Indian country. And to be here and be able to introduce the President of the United States is just a tremendous honor for me.
The President told the tribal leaders that the history of Native Americans in the federal government was one marked by violence and disease and deprivation. He said the tribes were told that their lands and religion and cultures and languages were not theirs to keep. And Obama said the federal government more recently had condescended to the tribes, acting as if Washington knew best. But the new president promised to listen, and listen he did, as several tribal leaders stood up to tell him about their issues with the federal government. One of those was John Berry, chairman of the Quapaw tribe of Oklahoma, who asked the president to visit Tar Creek, the northeastern Oklahoma site polluted by decades of mining. It has long been a Superfund site, meaning, supposedly, a top priority for environmental cleanup. But Berry told the president that the tribe has been struggling to get its voice heard in how to clean up the site. Despite his complaint about Tar Creek, though, Berry said he was thrilled that the president had invited tribal leaders to Washington. That seemed to be a widely shared sentiment at the conference.
Really need help from the administration to bring the Department of the Interior to the table to really help us move the chat so we can begin the real cleanup of Tar Creek.
What do you think about this conference in general?
Oh, I think it's exciting. I was almost in tears. It feels like a new moment in tribal history, and I feel like the president is very sincere when he talks about tribes as governments and sovereign nations. So, to me, this is the beginning of a new day for tribal people across the country.